Welcome back to the Ivy Unleashed podcast. Today is a great day. As
Today could be the
Timmy
day.
says, today could be the day.
Today could be the day. The day for what? Whatever you want.
What do you want it to be?
Ooh. Well, my day already started fantastically. For some reason, I think I woke up in the right part of my sleep cycle.
Okay, tell me more.
I woke up and I was like, yes.
That's the best.
I woke up and I couldn't wait to start my day. And sometimes, you wake up like, ugh.
If anyone's wondering what it's like being business partners with me, that's it. You can't wait to start the day because I'm your partner.
It's exactly who I was thinking about when I woke up. No, what was so awesome is I led a workout at 6 a.m. 3 people showed up and they happened to be huge people in my life. One was my sister-in-law, Christine. One was my best friend, Britt. And one was Catherine Gagnon, our coach, who's also a Move member.
Shout out, girls.
Coaches need coaches, baby.
Yeah, they do.
And it was fun. It was 30 minutes, but we pushed ourselves and I was so happy they were there.
That's good because when you're leading a workout that early, you got to bring the energy.
That's right.
You gotta. And that's what we want to talk about today is how do we specifically reset on our energy? Because this idea of energy, right, we always say you don't create it. It's not destroyed. It's something that you generate. So how do we generate more energy? Especially when we're transitioning into a new season. The kids are back. Kids are back in school. Praise Jesus.
Woo! And, love you, teachers. I love you, teachers. You're angels. I say it all the time, but I'm telling you, woo, I love you.
Yeah. So it's a really cool opportunity of a different routine. What do I want the routine to look like? And whether you have a 9-to-5, you're an entrepreneur, you're a mom, you can't, it's just a new season. Mm-hmm. Fall is upon us. So we want to chat about what that looks like for us. Hopefully give you some ideas.
A little inside scoop on what is happening in our lives because there's a lot going on. And I feel like I have my reset button is for me, it's always this dance between, and I've said this before about, I call it the move method, where it's you need to take time. The slowing down for me is understanding what I need right now.
Mm-hmm.
What needs have I not been meeting? What needs attention right now? And then making a decision about it. And that's just the first step. That is work. That is something we have to do because a lot of people get out of alignment because they're just go doing things they don't want to do, never slowing down, never checking in, never figuring out what they need. And it's crucial, especially when you have kids, because it's you're taking care of so many people's needs and thinking about a million things, mm-hmm. even though they are in school. My table's covered with different projects they have and things.
Lots of arts and crafts.
Fundraisers. It's it's wild.
So let's talk about what does slowing down look like for you?
So again, it's just the mornings for me. I have to get back to that again, which is nice now. I've decided that that time again is going to be, 5 to 7 before the kids are up. And Cora's kind of up before that. My oldest, she's getting grown. She's in middle school. So she's up early and getting ready and making her own lunch and stuff. But making the decision for me is a lot of things. So it's following my marathon training plan right now. Mm-hmm. Decided to follow that and have had to pivot on that. I just got my hormone results back. I have made some decisions about alcohol. I've made some decisions about my home, about business. I mean, there's a lot of decisions I'm making, but it's I have to be intentional on having that time to write it down, to breathe, to think, to pray. It is hard to find that time. You have to make that time, but it's the clarity that y'all need. We talk about it all the time.
I think anyone who has a strict, regimented morning routine, once you develop it and you find, you're going to continue to tweak it. But for those who have one, there's no going back.
Yeah. And I made a reel about this yesterday where it's I think we get wrapped up in that it has to be consistent. If we fall off, we failed and all of these things. But it's life is going to happen. I got sick and my training plan had to take a back burner for a couple weeks and it looked weird. And I hated that I wasn't highlighting the box yellow or green, But it's that doesn't mean you failed. It doesn't mean you're not doing a good job of taking care of yourself. It doesn't mean anything unless you make it mean something. just kind of keep trying to get back to that time, whether it's morning or night or midday when your kids are at school or when you know you can take a lunch break, like getting back to it in any way you can, even if it's slow.
So 5 to 7, what are you doing in these hours? Like, let's break out for the people.
I'm jumping out of bed.
All right.
Saying it's a great day to be alive. Well, this is what I want it to look like because it doesn't always look this way. I want to get up. I want to come downstairs, make some coffee while that's brewing, eat some breakfast to support my hormones.
Okay, queen.
Got to get my granola berry Greek yogurt in, my protein. So get that breakfast in, have my coffee. And then during that time, I want to get back to, because I'm not totally here yet, I want to get back to reading on my porch, journaling, Bible verse, little reflection time. I want 30 full minutes of that before I look at my email, before I start editing, before I start moving the needle for Gold Ivy Health Co. Like that stuff is so important. But if I just jump into that, I'm scattered. And it's not like coming from this place of a firm foundation, of a calm nervous system, of intention, of I'm ready, let's go. Like having that plan is just crucial.
Do you find it difficult when you journal and read first thing in the morning to do it when you're so tired? Because that's something I feel like I'm struggling with is I want to do these things, but at the ass crack of dawn, I'm like, I don't even know what I'm reading. I'm wondering if anyone listening can relate.
I'm sure. And there's definitely days like I skip that and I've skipped it a lot.
Yeah. Like I need to do exercise first is what I found. But that's also hard. Like if you're going to wake up, eat food, drink coffee, it's like, how much time do you have? And it's like, what works for you?
And it is better to exercise right away in the morning as far as like energy goes. Yeah. And we have a few days that we do that because we are leading workouts. So I think too, like reading is wonderful right before bed. And I try and do that with my kids. And so I think it's just finding those pockets of time where
what works for you. Because I do love the idea of you're doing your personal development before you're getting into work. You're doing it first thing in the day because 9 times out of 10 you wait until the end of the day and you're so tired. And like for me, that's the last thing I want to do. Like I'm personal developmenting all day long. Like from the minute I wake up, I love it. But I was listening to Jen Gottlieb and she's like, once it hits 5 o'clock, like I'm done. And I'm like, I like that. It's like, give yourself permission to then do what you want, that maybe you're enjoying where you're at in life. And it isn't about changing and building and becoming more. It's like, things are good and I'm going to take a breather.
It's such a good point. And you posted something, you shared it from someone else the other day. It's like, yes, we're building, growing, evolving, but like also you're enough just sitting here how you are. You don't have to always be changing, growing, pushing, grinding, building. It's like, it is exhausting. Sometimes you got to turn that stuff off because it makes you feel like, well, I'm not there yet. Oh, I'm not there yet. Yeah. Well, of course you're not there yet because there's no there. Like if it gets to feel like, I've had too much personal development and now it's action time or now it's rest time. Like listen to that because it's needed that you do turn it off. You can hear your own voice.
Yeah. There's so many people in the personal development space where it is the more and the growing and the push and the hustle. And what we've been really clear on from day one is our main focus is to help people feel okay. Like what do you need to be okay? Is it to turn the podcast off? Is it to read the books or is it to take a break? Like, I think there's a difference between what do you need to be okay? And maybe that is the pushing and the discipline, or is it, I don't need any of that. And I just need to calm down for a minute.
I do. I think that's a good point. I'm really proud of what we've created because we have the things to help you be okay. But then we also have the training schedule if you do want to push yourself for a marathon, or we do have a meal planning template if that's something you really want to get after. I think it's important because we are always weaving through life in different seasons of what we need. And like, I know how to meal plan. Does that mean I do it all the time? Absolutely not. Like I know I want to run a marathon. Am I always training? Absolutely not. And so it's the giving yourself grace of like, okay, like I realize I so have a yearly cycle. Every September, kids go back to school, it's my birthday. It feels like New Year's. I always am like so driven, so grateful, so emotional. Typically mid-September, I give up alcohol for a while. Like I'm noticing my patterns, and I'm going to encourage you to do the same thing of, you know, what's September like for me every year? What do I typically need in this month? How do I typically challenge myself? And what gets put on the back burner? And like, no judgment. It's just kind of what happens in our seasons and who we are. And if there is something you want to change, make that decision. Set some boundaries to help protect that. Tell the people in your life that can cheer you on. And then keep circling back to like, how's this going? Reflecting a bit on it and keep moving in that direction, knowing you're going to have feelings that come up and barriers that get in the way and shitty people that try to knock you down or things that happen with work or whatever. But like, if it's something you decided on because you took that time to align with your values, or you know you're sick of your own crap and you finally want to make the change, like, don't give up. Like, just know the pivots happen and the shifts happen, and we have off weeks or we have off couple days or whatever. But it's, I think, just like the not giving up on the thing you know you need to shift.
Yeah. I think a powerful question for me, at least, is always, what's giving me energy? Like, what gives me energy? And then auditing your calendar, right? Are those things in the calendar? Like we're talking about journaling, getting up early. For me, I'm really focusing right now on how do I stick to the same wake up time and the same sleep time. Like I know I have gotten so clear on what my body thrives with when it comes to routine and food and all of the things. And now it is just the discipline and the how do I create a routine around this? So for anyone listening, right, what gives you energy? Is it movement? Is it the people you're with? Is it putting your phone away 30 minutes earlier, right? Like these little micro habits that make such a difference.
So
like,
for you, what's giving you energy? Like right now, this season, what are you like loving? And you're like, I need more of this.
Routine.
Okay.
Like I need consistency. And I feel like, so I was working nights at a restaurant for a little bit, and that really threw me off. Like my circadian rhythm, food, you know, you're eating on the go and between tables, and it's just like not good for the nervous system. And so now I have this beautiful opportunity of, okay, I can have my nights back. And that means going hard in the morning and getting up early, which I would much rather do. So like picking a schedule that aligns with my natural energy, I think is huge. So for me, a routine, putting my phone away at the same time every night, like cooking dinner at the same time. I wasn't cooking dinner at all because I was eating at the restaurant. So getting back to that in the morning, not looking at my phone before a certain time. Like I said, getting up, exercising, and just continuing to like refine it of like, ooh, okay, taking inventory every day of like, this felt really good. Didn't need a third cup of coffee this day. Okay, why? Like being super curious with myself. And something I've learned when it comes to patterns is I love a spreadsheet. I love notes. I love the planning and like creating the routine, but then the executing the routine. So I'm like, okay, I just took 15 minutes typing out in the notes of my phone, but I can't stick to this.
Am I going to be looking at this? Am I going to use this? Am I going to highlight it? Am I going to?
Right. It's like I obsess over, and that's almost like a form of procrastination. I think of like, just do the damn thing. Mm-hmm. So the simpler, the better is what I'm learning as well.
I'm starting to laugh at myself when I catch myself procrastinating. I'm like, oh, we're doing it again. Why am I procrastinating from this email that is so easy to send?
Yeah.
Like it's literally going to take me 2 minutes. Why am I looking at my phone right now? That's so silly. Like just put it away. But there's always a reason why we do it. Like it serves a purpose.
And you kind of need like guardrails with yourself.
Yes.
Like I feel
Aren't
like
we funny? Like our brains are, it's hilarious sometimes.
Like I'm putting these systems in place to like cheat the game of procrastination. Like I know that I'm going to be like, no, like screw routine, but I do it anyways. Like, okay. So the earlier the better, like eat the frog, do the hard thing in the beginning of the day. For me, that's exercise. And then you stick to your routine in the beginning of the day. And it just like, I don't know. I feel like the day just goes a lot smoother.
Mm-hmm. You have been working on caffeine intake. Where's that at?
Great.
As I pound a coffee. This is my second one.
It's so funny. I notice I'm just in like the noticing phase of, okay, so Sunday, like, do I really need a bunch of caffeine when I have a day of rest? And like the purpose of the day is to rot. So I think playing
This is still a controversial word. I really hate that word.
I know you do, but for me, it doesn't. Like, for me, it feels like I'm giving myself permission to do nothing. And that's freeing.
But rot is like decaying and like decomposing and becoming less.
Yeah, for me, it just kind of makes me giggle.
Okay.
Like, I don't view it in a negative way.
I mean, it's the meaning you attach to it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Rest day, rot day. But, whatever.
I feel like my like inner critic doesn't like it. It's like, I can't resonate with that and feel good about myself.
Yeah.
It's
because I'm not decaying. Like, I'm literally not rotting.
Okay.
I'm just slowly passing away in my bed.
Okay. Well, I mean,
find what works for you.
Exactly.
Okay? I like the term rotting because it makes me giggle. And I don't look too deep into it.
Yeah. I do have an update and I want to share about my hormones because I did say I would share on the podcast about this. And I am super intrigued. I feel like it was Rachel Hollis. She did a whole episode on her hormones. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was so intrigued. But it's like, it's kind of tricky. If you don't know where your hormones are, it's kind of hard to resonate with. But I did like learning like, okay, how did you figure this out?
Yeah.
Because a lot of my friends have been like, how did you actually get these numbers? Because nobody knows how to test. So I went to my functional practitioner. Shout out Dr. Tara Woodland. And shout out to Brooke and Alicia for getting me to Dr. Tara. You're amazing. She'll be on the podcast season 5. But anyway, went there, got my blood taken, and then decided there to pay some extra money to order a Dutch test, which gives you way more information than your brain can handle. and
that your normal doctor will give you.
Yeah. And Dr. Tara walked me through it all. And I could do a deep dive on this if you guys want. But in general, what I learned is that, and I've known this for the last 4 years, ever since I actually had COVID in 2020, I have been losing my hair. Mm-hmm. I have been a little bit more anxious. My periods have been a little bit wacky, and they've gotten wackier in the last year, big time. And what's the other one? Oh, my skin has been breaking out around the jawline, which is a big sign that your hormones are off. So that's how I knew I wanted to do a Dutch test. That's how I knew I wanted to go to Dr. Tara to get some really in-depth numbers. And what I found out is that my estrogen is through the roof. Like, she shows you these graphs and it looks like this gas tank with like a lever. And mine is like, yeah, yep, to the max.
Help me.
Please, yes. So my progesterone's through the roof. My estrogen is through the roof. And what's scary about those things is like, obviously I'm fine. I'm running marathons. I have a lot of energy. I wake up, like do a ninja kick out of bed. Most of the time I'm like on fire with energy, which she was a little surprised about. But chronically, if your levels stay this high, there's a lot of risk for like the female cancers. And she did not try to scare me with that at all. She was just like, kind of mentioned it like, it's just a thing. Like we need to get these.
Yeah.
And
like,
check.
Good you're doing this.
Yes. She was like, glad we know. Let's do something about it. So my detoxification of like, I need to get this estrogen out of my body better. And so I ordered a bunch of supplements. They arrive tomorrow. I'm very excited about it.
What you're hearing her say is that she needs to work on her detoxification systems, aka maybe some coffee enemas in your future.
Oh, Lord. She did not suggest that. But I hear that does
your other practitioner, Brooke, does.
Yeah. So I'm going to start the supplements. I will keep you posted on, what I'm taking, what works for me, how I'm feeling. Going to get some more practices in place of making sure my supplements are visible, that I'm taking them when I'm supposed to take them to see how good I can feel. And I think it can be really overwhelming to book the doctor appointment. That was like my biggest barrier, just booking it. And then when you get the test, like, what do I do? It just like sat on my desk for a while, I was just like, I don't know.
And I'm like, same day, get this shit done.
It's like, I don't know what I'm doing and I'm scared of the results or, all these things, like even it's probably subconscious what's holding me back. So
procrastination.
Yep. And then doing it and then, and then your doctor takes it from there and like helps you out. And so, yeah, I think the whole thing can be kind of overwhelming and like, what's the next step? And then like, I don't know how long it's going to be before I start to feel better and like how much money I'll have to spend on supplements. Like this first round of supplements is $160. I did everything that she said. Obviously I could have picked some things not to get, but I'm like, I'm here to get this in order.
Yeah.
So I bought them all, and that's for like 2 to 3 months, and then I'll have to do it again.
It's a slippery slope.
It is, but it's like, if the goal here is to see if this plan works, if I can feel better, if I can stop losing so much hair, if I can not be so anxious and not have weird periods and my skin can clear up, like, let's see how good I can feel. And I'm really focused on the positives, the wins, what I'm noticing, and slowing down to even recognize. And we had on Dr. Jessie Haymeyer, her episode's coming out soon, and she was saying, like, at the end of the night, which this could apply to anything, write down your wins. And even Roger Rojas, the content CEO, he said, like, if you slow down, the more you do that and you think about your wins, you're like, oh,
there's so many.
I had a really good day today. Like, it was so fun. I ran into that person on my walk and we just had a smile and a laugh. Like, it's those little things that if we start to notice them, like, that is what life is all about. And so I'm going to try and do this with my health. I've really, like, ignored a lot of these signs for years, and it's been easy. Like, for the most part, I feel pretty fine. And now I'm like, I have kids. I want grandkids. I want to, like, be there for these things. I don't want to miss this opportunity to get this estrogen out in a more efficient way. So
what'd she say about caffeine?
Well, with my numbers, I can't remember specifically what it was that was a little off, that she was saying I easily can get revved up by things because of, like, what's going on with my pathways. And so she was like, she didn't say I had to take it out or anything. She said, I bet you're pretty easily, like, you're sensitive to these things. Yeah. Which is true. Like, yeah. So she didn't say cut back on that, actually, because we checked my cortisol levels and they're pretty normal. Like, there's nothing too out of whack. So I'm just taking ashwagandha to, like, get it to peak or optimal. So that was one of the things I probably didn't need to do. But I was like, well, if it's going to help the pathway.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to try some ashwagandha.
Welcome to my side of the world. Adaptogens. Pretty soon you'll be shrooming and doing all the natural things.
Yeah.
So getting your hormones in check, that's helping with the energy.
And
it's a big reset.
And if you have questions about that, Brooke and I, DM us. Ask us. Like, you don't have to go to that physician. Like, we can help you get connected to someone. We can explain what the Dutch test is. We can talk to you about what we know.
Yeah. Like, if you go to your OB and they're not functional, there's going to be very low chances that they know what a Dutch test is or that they run a Dutch test. So it is something you have to find a practitioner that does that protocol.
Yeah, and I took a lot of notes. So I can definitely talk about this more in depth. If you want, shoot us a message. Let us know if you want me to talk more about it or if you want me just to message you.
It'll be interesting to hear your updates.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe maybe season 5, because I'll have some time to take these supplements.
Yeah.
I'll either do a solo episode or you can ask me a bunch of questions about it and we'll see.
Yeah. Definitely take an inventory on just like acne, your hair, your anxiety.
Yeah.
I mean, taking a break from alcohol will definitely help.
Yes. I'm not drinking, I decided, until my marathon, which is October 13th in Rhode Island. So that's going to make everything better. I mean, if you put alcohol in your system and you're trying to detoxify your body, it's going to focus on the alcohol instead of the estrogen to get out, and so I'm always playing with, like, giving it up and whatever. And it's, like, just a really good time for me personally, professionally, my health, all of it. So, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. So to get back to your question on the caffeine, we're still playing with that too.
Yeah. How's your health? Give us the 411.
How's my health? My health it's getting better. I would say each and every day we get a little better. Definitely since not working at a restaurant has helped a lot. I've started working at a yoga studio and that has really filled my cup. Doing Gold Ivy and then being in person, doing live workouts, that's been so fun. Such a fun development.
Can I just tell you, you are a damn good yoga instructor.
Thank you.
You are. It's not even just like the flow obviously is great, but it's the words you use and just like, I feel so empowered and strong and loved and just...
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited to see, just like with my confidence. And if I'm teaching every day, I'm going to get real damn good, which is going to be so fun. I have some big dreams of teaching at retreats, doing yoga all over the world, working on my affirmations. I'm the best yoga teacher in the world.
Yes.
All those things. It's fun. I feel like I've searched for a while of like, what is my niche? Gut health, could talk about it all day, but it doesn't feel empowering to me. Whereas yoga is what's really, really helped me with my gut health. And so being able to help people in a way that was my solution, if that makes sense, feels really good and aligned. And I love movement. I love yoga.
And you love being with people too.
Yes.
I think sometimes like creating like a gut health document for people, it's like,
like I want you to experience my energy, and it gives me energy being with people. So even our Zoom lives, our lives on Zoom where I'm doing yoga, like those are fun. So all to say that has definitely helped my health, and I feel a lot more of natural energy. I'm realizing that my reliance on caffeine is a habit. And so it's like, how do I break the habit? And little by little, first it was just taking inventory on how much caffeine I'm consuming and on an empty stomach. And again, just the curiosity of like, okay, do I need that? And how do I like add some friction to make it harder for me to get the caffeine? I've also noticed just the coffee and the acidity of it hasn't been great for my stomach. So getting caffeine in other ways, like tea or like Zip Fizz drinks that have caffeine from like a green tea, but it's not coffee. Like that's kind of helped me break the habit, because I think I know there's something waking up, brewing your coffee. It's a ritual.
It smells good.
How do I create a new ritual?
And having something hot. So yeah, it's like, you don't have to take away the hot drink.
Yeah. And it's like the subconsciously, I know, okay, I'm putting caffeine in my body. I'm blocking myself from feeling tired. Now teaching yoga at 6 a.m., having to be at the studio at 5:30, like how is this it's a 30-minute drive. It's just like figuring out, what is this new ritual that makes me feel giddy and excited.
Yeah, this is such a great example of like, you don't have to give up coffee. It's not bad for you.
No.
But in your life, like today, did I need coffee? No. I woke up, I was pumped, I worked out, I sat in the sun on my porch with my kids. Literally one of the best mornings of my life this morning. Did I need coffee? No. Is it something I normally do? And do I like the smell? And do I like holding something warm? And is it usually what I do? Yes. Yeah. So it's like, I don't have to remove that. But if it's something that I'm like, I probably don't need it, I'm putting creamer in here that I know that my stomach doesn't like.
Right.
It's
like, I know it's not, I don't want to say helping. I'm just like, right now, I'm really kind of obsessing over the idea of what are my natural energy levels? And I noticed that the more coffee I drink, it has the opposite effect on me. Like it makes me wired, yes, but it like the fatigue then sinks in. So I've talked to so many people who have given it up, and they're like, it's hell at first, but just power through. It's life changing. And that's honestly like how I felt about alcohol. It's like, now that I've gone so long, when I do dabble with it, I'm like, the experience is so different. I notice right away that it makes me feel like trash. And it's like, why would I do this then? So yeah, it's just the experiment and the intuition, the voice that keeps bringing light to this, that I'm like, okay, at what point do you just fucking listen?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the same thing with alcohol. It's the same thing with eating foods that don't agree with me. It's like, life would be a lot easier if you just listened. But we want, like, I want so bad to be okay with gluten and dairy. I want so bad to be okay having one drink and being fine. But the fact is, I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if I just listened, how much easier would my life be? So that's kind of where, this is just my thought patterns. I'm not saying it's good, it's bad. It's just, I will always be experimenting with how can I feel better?
Yeah. I think what you just said is like the human experience of the noise, the distraction, the layers of what keeps us from hearing that voice. And then you get outside for a walk by yourself or a run, and then you can hear it, or you have a morning, or your kids are finally asleep and you can hear it. And it's like, and then we turn on the TV, or we turn on the phone, or we turn on, and it's like, if you allow that, and actually like, how many more signals am I going to get to try to shift this thing?
Yes.
when am I going to change what I'm seeing in my fridge? What am I going to change? When am I going to change what I'm watching on TV, or how much time, or when am I going to shift my sleep habits? I know I'm self-sabotaging watching a show until whatever time people watch it till you like, we all do it. There's no shame, but it's like, let those sounds come in. Whether you call it the voice of God, Holy Spirit, universe, your gut,
or you just you pick up on things other people say that really deeply resonate. Like, for example, my boyfriend, Ian, his coworker gave up caffeine. So I'm talking to him about it. And he had mentioned, and another friend's cousin that I was talking with, like 2 different conversations, same experience of, I wake up ready to go in the morning. I don't need a boost. I am naturally energized. I wake up ready to go. And I'm like, oh shit, I want some of that. Like, I can't imagine being like energized and ready to go. I mean, you said you had it this morning and you didn't necessarily need the coffee. But for me personally, it's like I wake up to drink coffee, which, you know, is something.
But it is something to look forward to, right? It's like a treat. It's like something, you know. I mean, there's different ways to look at it, but I think it's intriguing you. It's calling you, and you're doing something about it. You've like decided to focus on it and try it.
I want to be so obsessed with my life that I want to get out of bed in the morning. And I feel like it is my responsibility to create that life.
And you have such an opportunity. It's just you have to focus on right now.
Exactly.
You literally can do whatever you want.
What it's going to happen when I have kids. Maybe then I'll have, you know, like now is the time.
You're going to be like, why was I ever stressed and thought I didn't have time? You're going to be so baffled at like, you're going to be baffled.
Yeah. So like we got to get some good habits now.
Yes. You are ahead of the game. That is for sure. When it comes to like awareness and what's at your fingertips right now to like have, you could do whatever you want. You could move to Japan right now.
All right. I would go to Hawaii.
Although they do have some really good ramen in Tokyo, man. Oh, I miss it.
Is it gluten?
I miss it every day.
Is it gluten-free ramen? Because then maybe we'd be talking.
Probably not. I don't
Take
know.
me to Hawaii. Yeah. So some things we're experimenting with. All in all, health it's a good day.
It is
every day is getting better, and I'm excited to see what this year holds.
Yes, I'm really excited too because we're ramping up for season 5. I know it's September, but season 5, we got some people in the lineup. I never like to say totally until it's like
real
aired because technology and schedules and stuff.
But you just wait.
We are amped. We're excited. We're partnering with people. We're having discussions with people. We've got events coming up. And so keep following on any social platform, Gold Ivy Health Co. Let us know too, you know, like we're talking about Brooke as this awesome instructor in yoga. I love leading a cardio strength. We're doing it every week on Zoom. And so if you want to be a part of that, shoot us a message. Like, we want you in. We want to build our community. The more people that are in, the better. We're encouraging you. We're dropping recipes. We're always making a resource. We're always having golden hours. And so if you want to be a part of that, please let us know. We would love to have you join.
And also part of our community is access to our reset, our metabolism reset.
Yes, that's coming up.
So we'll be running that in October, which is, like a week away. So now is the time to get in and join us. If you feel like you resonated with what we said, you're like, yeah, I need what they're having and I'm in this too, do it with us.
Yeah, it's really about like imperfectly getting some habits in place that you know you need and having some accountability and support along with some education and some cheerleaders. Yeah. So Ultimate Reset, you'll see us everywhere on Gold Ivy Health Co talking about it again, but let us know and we'll send you a little promo code.
We really hope you found value from this conversation, getting an inside look at what we're working with, what we're dealing with, how we're prioritizing ourselves in the midst of this crazy thing called life. So let us know what you thought, what you're working on. We do hope to see you in our community. We love you guys. We appreciate you. And until next time,
this is Gold Ivy signing off.
Listen to your truth and go chase your gold.
Remember when we used to dance at the start of every episode?